I went over it with my black paint, and I went ahead and did the whole thing. I didn't just do part of it. I got me some rags here, wiped it down. Then I had to go over it with the gray Scotch-Brite. And of course, like I said, it's freaking hot, so I'm kind of sweating here. Let's look at it now. So as you can see, now it looks like an old nasty guitar. But we're not done yet, folks. Now to keep it the old nasty look, the best thing to do is, you know, you can use any kind of household items that you want, okay? But I use rubbing compound. What rubbing compound is, that's what you buff cars with a buffer. So we're gonna hand wax it. We're not gonna buff it out with a buffing machine and all that shit. I could if I wanted to, but you know, why? Now, what I do is I get my wax on there nice and thick. Now you can use Old English or, you know, anything that's, you know, a certain type, anything that's a polish. Okay, you don't have to use rubbing compound. Okay, so I get that on there, and as you notice, I'm letting it sit on there. Yes, I'm wearing gloves. I did take my safety glasses off. We're not doing anything dangerous to our. Then I just kind of buff it out by hand, see? And when you're doing that, it's taking off the residue of the stain or paint or whatever you use. Now, as you can see, it's got a slight shine to it, but on the other hand, it's semi-gloss. So that's looking good. And since it does show some scratches, I went ahead and put the scratches, when I sanded in here, I put them going that way. So when you look at the guitar, it looks like, you know, you get the fucking idea. So let me do the back here. And then we're going to do that guitar neck. Alright, we got our body done. Came out pretty nice if you ask me. Looks really good. And trying to get it in there where you can see. So the body's done. We're done with that. Let me give you a good close-up of that. Look at that. Now that looks like a guitar that's been around the block, dude. Okay. So to start out, what we're going to do is I'm going to take, and once again, I own a body shop, so, you know, you can buy all this crap over at Home Depot that you need. I'm going to start out, well, let's go with 180. So I'm taking a piece of 180, okay? That's for automotive sanding, by the way. So, you know, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand the neck down in this area, but I'm not going to sand it down here. I'm just going to sand it right in here. Okay, now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but let me go ahead and sand that. So then, to finish that out, we're going to take a piece of 320. I don't know if you could have read that or not. This is real fine sandpaper. And just kind of, you know, randomly. But you definitely want to sand it up in here, see? So, there you go. Actually, man, it makes your neck a lot smoother to play, believe it or not. It glides a lot better. Now, before we go any further, we might take an old screwdriver, see, and maybe a hammer. Listen, okay, and we might just take it and go. Now, what that's going to do is going to put a little, you can't see it now. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, but you might want to put a couple indentions in it. Just, you know, okay? Not real hard ones. I wouldn't suggest doing it right in this area because that's where your thumb rides. If you want to do it, you know, do it down in this area here, what have you. And usually I got a little vise holding it, but, you know. See, that made a nice little indentation. And we're going to kind of come around the edges here. And we don't want to crack the neck, so don't be hitting it real hard. I don't know if you can see me doing this. might be like where the guitar dropped or what have you. You know. Okay, maybe a couple on the back right here. And if you notice, I'm using a very small hammer because I do not want to crack the neck. So then we might take the edge of the hammer, just kind of, you know, dent it a little bit. Just randomly. Just want to take the finish off of here, but we're going to do it a little different. We're going to use this a heat gun. What that's going to do, it's going to heat the finish up. Because we want to make it look like this here is actually peeled away. We don't want to make it look like it's sanded. Because your hand doesn't rub up here, see? So we might get this here, you know, spatula, whatever the fuck you call it. So very lightly, and we don't want to take the name Falcon off all the way, but you want to go ahead and heat that up. Get your heater nice and close to it until you start seeing the clear start to bubble. Okay, then just kind of go like that, see? Now, you might have had a cigarette in here. You know, a lot of people say, ooh, let's put cigarette burns on it, this, that, and the other. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that if you want. And most of the time, they don't put the cigarettes right here. They put them one fret up because, I mean, one string up because right in here, the cigarette would hold. So I made a notch right there, see? Let me make another one just real quick. We're going to go ahead and notch that out just a little bit bigger. Kind of the shape of a cigarette. So when we burn that, it looks like the wood burned it. Like the cigarette burned the wood. So then, we heat that up until you start seeing the wood turn black where you hit it. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if we can see that. See that right there? And of course right in there. And we want to leave that like that, see? Alright. Now, that looks like it's been used and abused, see? Let's go ahead and do a little bit on the back, just while we got it out. Okay? Then we take our gray Scotch-Brite, cut it in half. Okay? And we kind of sand it down. And sand it down where we took the clear off. See there? Of course on the edge here. And then right here, kind of want to buff it down, see? Now, you can't really tell that that's been used yet. Okay, but the neck stock looks pretty good. Alright? Okay. I'm basically going to use two colors on this. Now once again, okay, I use automotive paint. All up. So we're going to go ahead and do the top of the neck first. Try to keep your hands off the fretboard. So we're going to put some right in here. See what I'm doing here? Just where I melted the clear off, basically. And maybe where that cigarette burn might have been. Okay, then we're going to take our rag, wipe it down, and if a little bit of paint, you know, stains it up, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's the look you're going after anyway. You're going after that antique look. So then, go ahead and take your rag, put some wax on it. Like I said, you can use Old English, whatever you got around the house. Doesn't really matter. I just happen to have this, you know. This is what I use. I'm going to go ahead and buff that out, see? Okay, then we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more polish here. Just a little bit, just a little bit. We're going to do our headstock, bud. Relic out. Guitar neck. Once you start rubbing your hand on this and playing it, it'll get a little shinier. Okay? But the neck's done.